For over 2 millennia, a groundbreaking truth about rebirth has been hidden, shrouded in ancient texts and whispered through mystical traditions. This is not just a story or a myth. It's a profound truth with the power to shake the very foundations of how we perceive life and ourselves. What if I told you that one of the greatest spiritual revelations, a secret capable of transforming your understanding of existence, has always been right in front of you? Would you believe it? This secret doesn't just speak to the past. It opens a doorway to deeper insight into our present and future. It is a treasure of knowledge that sages and spiritual masters have long referenced, yet it has been obscured by time and the tides of history. Today, we will uncover this ancient secret together, decode the messages passed down through various civilizations, and understand why this matters now more than ever in our modern world. What you're about to learn isn't just knowledge. It's an extraordinary journey toward inner enlightenment. Imagine questioning everything you thought you knew about life and death, about humanity's purpose, and about how we are all interconnected. Join me on this journey, because what you're about to hear will not only challenge conventional beliefs, but also unlock possibilities you may have never dreamed of. This isn't just a rediscovery of the past. It's an opportunity to find answers for yourself. The Forgotten Gospel, the key to rebirth. More than 2,000 years ago, within the earliest teachings of Christianity, a text emerged that hinted at an extraordinary idea. It wasn't about harsh judgment or the fear of eternal punishment, but rather the grand and continuous journey of the soul, a concept of rebirth that went far beyond the conventional beliefs of the time. The Gospel of Thomas, a text tied to early Christian tradition, contains cryptic and metaphorical sayings, some of which reference the idea of being born again. But here, born again may not simply mean a symbolic or spiritual renewal. It could also be understood as a literal cycle of rebirth. This idea not only captivated the imagination of spiritual seekers, but also posed a threat to the emerging orthodox teachings of the Church. Why was rebirth removed from mainstream doctrine? The Council of Nicaea in 325 AD marked a pivotal moment in Christian history. It was during this council that orthodox teachings were solidified, and ideas seen as conflicting with the goal of theological control were cast aside. Rebirth, a concept embraced by some early Christian groups, was condemned as heresy and gradually erased from the mainstream narrative of religion. But what motivated this decision? Some historians and theologians argue that accepting the idea of rebirth would have undermined the foundations of the Church's power structure. The concept of rebirth granted immense agency to the individual, emphasizing that the soul has countless opportunities to evolve across multiple lifetimes. If the soul was not bound by a single final judgment, but instead continuously learned and grew, the fear of eternal punishment, a powerful tool for controlling the masses, would lose its grip. Rebirth, a deeper significance. Rebirth is more than just a mystical idea. It carries a profound message of hope and personal responsibility. Imagine being told that your soul is not confined by time or space, but instead has infinite chances to right its wrongs, gain wisdom, and ultimately achieve enlightenment. This shifts the focus away from salvation by a higher power and places it on internal growth and individual accountability. It's no surprise that this concept was seen as dangerous by early religious authorities. If each person could achieve spiritual evolution on their own, the role of organized religion as the intermediary between humanity and the divine would become less significant. The Gospel of Thomas and its message for today. In a world where people are searching for a deeper connection to themselves and the universe, the message of the Gospel of Thomas feels more relevant than ever. In times of uncertainty, knowing that each of us has the power to shape our spiritual future across lifetimes can bring immense comfort and hope. The big questions remain. If the soul is eternal, what is the true purpose of each lifetime? How can we make the most of this journey to overcome fear, seek truth, and achieve spiritual transcendence? Let us return to the ancient whispers of this forgotten gospel, for within them may lie the key to unlocking the limitless possibilities of existence. This is not merely a journey to uncover meaning. It is a reminder that we all have the power to rewrite our own stories through the lives we've lived, the life we're living, and the lives yet to come. Time is a spiral, not a straight line. One of the most revolutionary aspects of the secret of reincarnation is how it reshapes our understanding of time and existence. Instead of viewing life as a linear journey that starts with birth and ends with death, ancient teachings proposed a bold idea. Time is cyclical, operating in a complex structure much like a spiral, a shift in our perception of time. This concept challenges the traditional view, where time is seen as a one-way flow from the past to the future. Ancient philosophies, particularly those in Eastern spiritual traditions and even some forgotten teachings in the West, suggest that time is not just a flow, but a series of repeating cycles. Each cycle is not merely a repetition, but an opportunity to climb higher on the spiral of spiritual evolution. These teachings offer a different perspective on life. Instead of being a one-off event, each individual's life is seen as part of a greater process, where each lifetime is a chapter in the never-ending book of the soul's development. Quantum physics, the bridge between science and spirituality. Surprisingly, modern science, especially quantum physics, is slowly catching up with this ancient wisdom. Quantum theory suggests that time may not flow in a straight line, but instead, it's a flexible phenomenon that can be influenced by factors we don't fully understand yet. Experiments on the behavior of quantum particles have shown that cause and effect don't always follow traditional logic. A phenomenon known as retrocausality even suggests that the future can affect the past, breaking the concept of linear time. If physical phenomena can behave this way, it's not illogical to speculate that reincarnation, the connection between past, present, and future lives, could be interpreted in a similar fashion. Repeating patterns and the spiral of evolution. Seeing time as a spiral not only provides a fresh perspective on reincarnation, but also helps explain common yet puzzling experiences in many people's lives. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to be born with extraordinary talents, while others struggle to overcome recurring obstacles? According to reincarnation teachings, innate talents or recurring life themes might be imprints from past lives. A skilled artist, for instance, may be reconnecting with abilities honed over many lifetimes. Conversely, unresolved wounds, sometimes called soul scars, can follow the soul from one life to the next. These wounds persist in the form of negative patterns until they are faced and healed completely. Reincarnation and the soul's lessons. Each lifetime, from this perspective, is not a completely fresh start, but a step forward on the spiral of growth. Unfinished lessons from past lives reappear, providing the soul with opportunities to learn and evolve. However, the goal isn't punishment but to offer the soul a chance to evolve and reach higher enlightenment. Understanding reincarnation in this way not only brings new meaning to life, but also encourages us to take greater responsibility for our actions. If time truly is a spiral, and we return to face unfinished lessons, how we live today will shape our future, not just in this life, but in the lives to come. A message of hope and responsibility. The idea of time as a spiral not only brings the hope that every mistake can be corrected, but it also emphasizes each person's responsibility to face themselves. It challenges us to rise above fear, break old patterns, and find ways to heal, not just for our own benefit, but for the evolution of all humanity. Ultimately, this understanding opens up a more holistic view of life, where every moment is part of a larger picture. A picture painted by the endless spirals of time and spiritual growth. The law of repetition. Why you keep coming back. In ancient teachings about reincarnation, there's an interesting but lesser-known concept called the law of repetition. This idea plays a key role in the spiritual journey of every soul and helps explain why we seem to be drawn into certain situations, relationships, or careers that feel almost predestined. The law suggests that unresolved actions, emotions, or lessons from past lives create a magnetic pull, bringing us back to similar situations in future lives until we've worked through those lessons. Repetition is unfinished business. Have you ever felt an inexplicable pull toward a person, place, or career? No matter how hard you try to avoid it, these connections just seem to persist, naturally drawing you back. This isn't a coincidence or random occurrence. According to the law of repetition, these connections are the result of unfinished business from past lives, things your soul hasn't yet resolved. So, you keep returning to similar situations to address unresolved issues, emotions, or lessons. In many cultures, It's believed that the soul doesn't just reincarnate, but also carries unresolved burdens or unhealed wounds from the past. Each time we're reborn, our soul is like an open book, full of unfinished stories. Working through these issues in future lives is how the soul learns and grows through each experience. The unexplained pull. One of the most common phenomena related to the law of repetition is the powerful, often inexplicable attraction many people feel toward a person, place, or specific field. For example, some people feel a deep connection to art, music, or a particular career, even though they've never had exposure to these things in this life. Others may feel deeply connected to a place they've never visited. These feelings could be remnants of past experiences, relationships, or lessons. From this perspective, the soul is pulled back into circumstances, relationships, or locations from past lives in order to resolve, learn, and complete unfinished business. This return isn't a random event. It's part of the soul's journey, where unresolved emotions and lessons from the past continue to influence and drive growth. Examples of the law of repetition in life. One of the easiest ways to spot the law of repetition is through major life changes. For example, someone who was once a warrior in a past life, involved in wars, may return in this life with a strong desire for peace or a deep interest in environmental protection. In this case, the soul might be trying to balance out the karmic effects of violence and war from the past. By engaging in peacekeeping activities, they're not just resolving an old issue but also creating balance and healing any wounds they may have caused or endured in past lives. Similarly, someone might go through a series of failed relationships only to realize they're working through an emotional pattern from a past life. Unresolved emotions could reappear in current relationships, creating similar situations until they're consciously acknowledged and the lessons are learned. Reincarnation and the importance of completing lessons. The law of repetition can be seen as the universe's way of offering the soul opportunities to complete its lessons over multiple lifetimes. Each life is a new chance to resolve unfinished issues, seek forgiveness, or develop underdeveloped aspects of the self. This explains why some people face the same challenges over and over again across lifetimes, and why certain problems, emotions, or patterns continue to show up. The key to understanding and overcoming the law of repetition is awareness. When you realize that the struggles you're facing aren't just about this life, but may also be connected to past ones, you can begin the healing and resolution process. Consciously addressing and learning from old issues not only helps you evolve, but also brings about spiritual growth in this life. Conclusion. The law of repetition provides deep insight into the connection between lifetimes and the spiritual growth of each soul. Repeating situations in life aren't random. They're part of a larger process, a chance for the soul to learn, grow, and heal. Understanding this helps you make sense of what's happening in your life and why you keep coming back to unfinished lessons, so that one day, when those lessons are complete, you won't be pulled back into the same old cycles anymore. Soul imprints, clues from your current life. One of the most fascinating aspects of reincarnation is how your present life carries signs or clues about your soul's journey through past lifetimes. These signs can appear in many forms: birthmarks on your body, innate talents, or even irrational fears you can't explain. They serve as indicators, traces that reveal what experiences your soul may have gone through in the past, and how those experiences continue to influence your spiritual development in the present life. Birthmarks and signs of past lives. One of the most prominent examples of soul imprints is birthmarks on the body, especially those that you cannot explain the origin of in this life. Several studies have suggested that some birthmarks could correspond to wounds your soul may have sustained in past lives. These injuries aren't just physical cuts. They could also represent profound experiences that reflect psychological or physical manifestations in your current life. Research involving children who recall past lives has shown that some scars or signs on their bodies may align perfectly with memories the children describe about their deaths or the trauma they experienced in a previous life. This opens up a new perspective on the idea that the soul can carry traces from the past, not just in the mind, but also on the body. Innate talents and reincarnation. Innate talent is another example of soul imprints in your current life. Many people, from a young age, display special abilities in a particular area that they've never been formally trained in or exposed to. For example, a child may be able to play the piano proficiently without any formal training, or an individual may have an exceptional talent for painting, even though they've never studied art. These are powerful signs that the soul may have developed these talents in previous lives and that they are reactivated in this one. According to reincarnation theory, innate talent is the result of accumulated knowledge and skills from past lives, with the soul continuing to work on those abilities in the current life. A natural affinity for a particular career or art form is not a random occurrence, but rather a continuation of talents developed over many lifetimes. Irrational fears, unhealed memories. One of the most easily identifiable but often overlooked soul imprints is irrational fears, strong emotions with no clear origin. For instance, a person may have an intense fear of water, even though they've never faced any dangerous situations involving water in this life. Or someone may have a fear of being forgotten or isolated without a clear reason. According to reincarnation beliefs, these fears could be unhealed memories from past lives, where the soul underwent painful or tragic experiences that have not yet been resolved. These fears can be signs of unresolved psychological trauma from previous lives. When the soul reincarnates, it may bring unresolved emotions with it, which manifest as irrational fears in the present life. Once we become aware of the origin of these fears and begin healing them, the soul can continue its process of evolution and growth. A deep connection to a specific culture or time period. Another soul imprint that many people may experience in their current life is a strong attachment to a particular culture or historical period. Some individuals feel as though they belong to a culture, even though they have no familial or historical ties to it. Others may feel a profound love for a historical era, such as the Renaissance, or have a deep connection to a country they've never lived in before. Reincarnation theory suggests that these feelings could be remnants from past lives, where the soul lived in a particular culture or time period. These memories aren't conscious memories, but rather a type of data stored in the soul, explaining the unexplained attachment to cultures or periods we've never experienced in this lifetime. Children remembering past lives. One of the most famous studies related to past life memories in children was conducted by Dr. Ian Stevenson, a renowned psychologist who carried out over 2,500 studies on children who recalled past lives. In his research, he discovered that many children described places, people, and events that they couldn't have known through any conventional learning methods. These details included names of people, locations, and events from distant historical periods that the children had never encountered or been exposed to in this life. Although these stories are hard to believe, they strongly challenge the notion of the blank slate mind at birth. They suggest that memories of past lives may exist in our souls and are replayed in our current lives. This challenges traditional concepts of intellectual development and opens up new avenues for understanding the nature of humanity and what we truly carry with us as we enter this life. Conclusion. Soul imprints in your current life aren't just small signals. They are profound clues about your soul's journey through past lifetimes. Birthmarks, innate talents, irrational fears, and deep connections to specific cultures or time periods are all powerful indicators that show our souls carry memories and unfinished lessons from the past. These signs can help us gain a deeper understanding of our spiritual growth and open up opportunities to heal old wounds, resolve unfinished lessons, and continue the soul's evolution in this lifetime. The reason some lives feel incomplete. Have you ever felt like you're racing against time, even when you're still young? This feeling isn't random or just a part of modern life stress. In fact, it could point to unresolved tasks from past lives. According to many spiritual traditions, some souls carry with them an unexplained sense of urgency, and this may be a sign of unfinished business from past lifetimes. In certain spiritual traditions, particularly those in the East and ancient philosophies, the concept of an unfinished life is explained by someone passing away suddenly or not completing their soul's intended mission. These souls don't immediately leave the cycle of reincarnation, but instead reincarnate quickly, carrying with them a sense of urgency to finish the tasks left undone in the past. The reason this happens can be understood from several different perspectives. One common theory is that every soul, when entering a new life, carries with it a unique mission or purpose. These tasks could include personal growth, resolving unfinished issues from past lives, or even helping and impacting those around them in a profound way. When the soul is unable to fulfill these goals, a deep sense of incompleteness lingers, driving them to return and seek resolution. In practice, some people go through life feeling like they've lived many lives within one. They constantly reinvent themselves and always seek change and improvement. This might manifest as a constant desire to explore new careers, pursue bigger goals, or even alter personal relationships. These individuals may feel as though they are living many lives in one, as if each stage of life carries a greater mission or purpose. This feeling can often be recognized in those who tend to change quickly, continuously experimenting and altering their paths. They might be people who excel in multiple areas, but also feel easily frustrated or defeated when big goals aren't achieved. This dissatisfaction isn't due to impatience, but because their soul seems to be searching for something unfinished. Perhaps you've felt in this life like you're racing toward an undefined mission, or there's always something pushing you to search for true meaning. These could be signs that you are working to complete lessons or unfinished missions from past lives. The urgency and longing you feel may be a sign of a powerful shift within your soul, a continual rebirth to perfect yourself and finish what was left undone. We may never fully understand all the factors that influence this life, but if we pay attention and look deeper within ourselves, we might realize that every step we take in this life could be part of the soul's evolutionary process. Through this, we are gradually completing the tasks from past lifetimes. These are not easy lessons, but they are always big challenges that the soul sets for itself to achieve ultimate fulfillment. Perhaps, when you feel like you're racing against time, it's the sign of a soul yearning to fulfill its mission in this life, so it can move forward into future lives with a greater sense of peace. Enlightenment through reincarnation. The ultimate purpose of reincarnation isn't just about continuing to exist, but it's a journey toward enlightenment, a process every soul must undergo over multiple lifetimes. In each life, we have the opportunity to learn, grow, and resolve unfinished issues from past lives, ultimately moving toward a higher state of consciousness and unity with the true nature of the universe. Reincarnation, in many spiritual cultures, isn't just an endless loop of life and death. Each life is like a chapter in the invisible book of your soul, guiding you closer to a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. In many Eastern philosophies, such as Buddhism and Hinduism, this process is called moksha or nirvana, the liberation from the cycle of birth and death. However, it's important to understand that enlightenment is not a reward for good behavior, but rather the natural result of clarifying karma and merging with the true essence of the self. To better understand, we must look at the evolution of the soul through each lifetime. With each reincarnation, the soul doesn't just carry over experiences. It continues to learn and accumulate the necessary lessons for perfection. Some people may become aware of changes within themselves across lifetimes, as they start to understand different aspects of themselves, the past wrong decisions, and the positive actions that lead to lasting happiness. This process is a journey of self-awareness, where each life lesson marks an important step on the path toward enlightenment. The concept of enlightenment in Eastern traditions isn't an easy goal to achieve. It requires letting go of all attachments, hatred, and ignorance, the three main elements in the chain of karma that can stretch from one life to another. To achieve enlightenment, a soul must realize that all negative emotions and thoughts, as well as attachments to the ego, are merely illusions that create bonds to the cycle of reincarnation. They need to transcend these barriers to fully align with the highest essence of the universe. Once the soul has evolved enough to recall the lessons from past lives, it begins to connect more deeply with a cosmic consciousness, recognizing the interconnectedness of all life and phenomena in this world. Those who reach this level of enlightenment often express infinite compassion, wisdom, and unconditional love. They are no longer driven by personal concerns or ego, but live their lives with a higher purpose, always seeking ways to help others, fostering the development of communities, and uplifting humanity. Enlightenment through reincarnation is not a quick or easy process. It's a long journey, sometimes full of challenges, but it's through facing these challenges and suffering that the soul is propelled forward. Those on this path will encounter difficulties and failures, but each failure is an important lesson bringing them closer to the ultimate truth of themselves and the universe. When the soul fully realizes its true nature and the nature of the universe, it achieves absolute freedom, a state where they are no longer influenced by the material world or the chains of karma. Just like in Western philosophy, where philosophers like Socrates and Plato spoke of the pursuit of knowledge and the development of human nature, Eastern traditions also emphasize that the path to enlightenment is a journey of discovering the inner truth. However, the key difference is that in Eastern traditions, this journey isn't a solitary one. It's a connection to a greater cosmic consciousness where all life is linked and interacts. Every soul on this journey contributes to a vast understanding and love, forming an invisible but immensely powerful network that impacts everything in the world. Therefore, enlightenment through reincarnation is not only about personal fulfillment, but also a process of contributing to the evolution of all humanity and the universe. This journey, whether long or short, always leads the soul to a state of wisdom, love, and deep connection with all that exists. Practices to access reincarnation wisdom. The journey of exploring reincarnation wisdom is not an easy one, but it can bring profound insights into the nature of your soul and the purpose of your life. If you're curious about past lives and want to tap into the hidden wisdom within you, there are several practices you can engage in to unlock memories and lessons from previous lifetimes. These practices not only help you connect deeply with yourself, but also open the door to a powerful spiritual journey that leads to higher understanding of your current life. 1. Deep meditation. Meditation is one of the most powerful and effective methods for connecting with your innermost nature. In a meditative state, you can achieve mental stillness and enter a higher state of consciousness. In this state, you can become more aware of memories, fragments of past lives, or lessons your soul is currently learning. Meditation not only helps you reduce stress, but also opens the gateway to recognizing memories or messages from the past. Meditation methods such as vipassana, insight meditation, or samatha, calm abiding, can help you achieve inner peace, making it easier to connect with deep memories from past lives. By practicing meditation, you can begin to notice signs, feelings, or even images related to previous lifetimes, helping you clarify unanswered questions in your current life. 2. Past life regression. A special technique used to tap into reincarnation wisdom is past life regression. This is a method where participants are guided into a hypnotic state, allowing them to access memories from past lives. These experiences can provide clear insights into relationships, fears, or innate talents carried over from previous lifetimes. Past life regression can help you decode unresolved issues in your current life, past traumas, or recurring patterns you encounter. Past life regression experts believe that as your soul goes through different lifetimes, it carries subconscious memories, and through hypnosis, you can access these memories. This is a powerful method that allows you to see the connection between past experiences and what you're currently going through, bringing about release and profound understanding of what you need to do to evolve spiritually. 3. Spiritual journaling. Another important method in the journey to explore reincarnation wisdom is maintaining a spiritual journal. Recording your dreams, intuition, and strong feelings can be an effective way to access clues about reincarnation. Dreams often contain memories of past lives, although they may not be clear and easily understood at first. However, when you write down these dreams, you may begin to recognize patterns or recurring symbols that help you connect with the deep wisdom within. Recording strong feelings or intuitive insights you experience in daily life can also help you become more aware of unresolved issues from past lives. These sensations may sometimes arise unexpectedly, but if you pay attention and write them down, you will begin to see clues about your soul's journey. Spiritual journaling is not just a tool for recording feelings. It also helps track your progress on your journey to uncover reincarnation wisdom. 4. Learning about archetypes and symbols. Psychological archetypes and symbols, especially those explored by Carl Jung, can provide important clues about your soul's journey through multiple lifetimes. Jung pointed out that archetypes, deep images and symbols that exist in the collective unconscious, can reflect lessons and experiences from past lives. These symbols can appear in dreams, daily experiences, or works of art, and they can help you gain a deeper understanding of your purpose and spiritual path. By learning about these archetypes, you can begin to recognize recurring symbols in your life and connect them with lessons from past lives. These archetypes not only help you understand yourself better, but also provide clues about the challenges and opportunities your soul is facing. When you understand these archetypes, you'll be able to recognize opportunities for healing and spiritual growth, bringing you closer to the ultimate goal of reincarnation, enlightenment. Conclusion. The journey to uncover reincarnation wisdom is a long and challenging path, but by practicing methods like meditation, past life regression, journaling, and studying archetypes and symbols, you will begin to unlock the hidden wisdom within you. These practices not only help you connect with the past, but also allow you to gain greater awareness of your soul's purpose and mission in your current life. They will guide you to deeper insights into your eternal nature and bring you closer to ultimate enlightenment. The future of humanity, a cycle or a quantum leap. When we look toward the future of humanity, a big question arises. Will humanity continue evolving in a repetitive cycle, or will we experience a quantum leap, a profound transformation in collective consciousness? As we become more aware of the nature of the universe and the interconnectedness of all its elements, humanity may be approaching a revolutionary shift in how we understand ourselves and the world around us. The concept of reincarnation is not just a spiritual theory for individuals. It's part of a larger picture of human evolution. If we can understand that each soul is at a different stage of its journey, we can build a better world, one where empathy, understanding, and patience are core values. In such a world, we wouldn't judge one another solely by our successes or failures in this life, but instead understand that each person is going through a profound journey of learning and growth, shaped by many past lives. Embracing each soul's personal journey. One of the key elements to achieving a quantum leap in collective consciousness is the ability to accept that each soul is going through different lessons and at different stages of development. This helps reduce judgment and, instead, fosters empathy and patience with those around us. When we view people not only through the lens of their current actions, but from a broader perspective of their soul's evolution across lifetimes, we'll realize that the challenges, pain, and even failures in life may just be part of a long journey toward enlightenment. Rather than criticizing or blaming, we can support each other, walk alongside each other on this spiritual development path, and work towards a more inclusive community where everyone has the opportunity to improve and evolve, the ability to heal and grow over time. One of the most important aspects of reincarnation is understanding that we all have the opportunity to fix our mistakes, heal wounds, and grow over time. For every soul, nothing is permanent. Every mistake can be healed, and every hardship can be overcome when we recognize its nature and are ready to learn from it. In this context, we can imagine a world where there's no fear or anxiety about past mistakes. Everyone understands that they can continue to learn, improve, and become a better version of themselves over time. From this, concepts like forgiveness, tolerance, and personal growth will become foundational values in society, rather than judgment or unrealistic expectations of perfection. This will create a safer and more positive space for each individual, allowing people to feel supported, nurtured, and in an environment that encourages spiritual growth. People will no longer fear being judged or punished for their mistakes, but will realize that every lesson and challenge is an opportunity to grow and evolve. A world filled with hope. If humanity can understand that each soul has the opportunity to heal and grow over time, a world free from fear will emerge. A world where we're not dominated by worries about punishment or failure, but filled with hope for the possibility of change and progress. Every individual will feel free to develop themselves without fear of negative consequences from past mistakes. In such a world, people will no longer see each other as competitors, but as fellow travelers on the journey of spiritual development. Instead of comparing or competing, we will support each other, help each other overcome challenges, and work together toward a brighter future. This will lead to stronger growth in empathy, compassion, and harmony between individuals and communities. Conclusion. The secret lies within you. The secret of reincarnation isn't just about believing that you've lived many past lives. It's a reminder that your soul is infinite, and you always have the opportunity to change, grow, and love more deeply. When you look in the mirror, you're not just seeing a physical body. You're seeing a soul that has transcended eras, learned from every experience, and is constantly reaching toward the light. The truth has always been here, hidden in plain sight, waiting for you to uncover it. And now, the only question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Let this secret guide you. Let it light the way forward. We are not bodies with souls. We are souls with bodies. And this soul's journey is just beginning.